Dancing was one of the most uncomfortable and honestly embarrassing things I've ever done on my healing journey. 5 years ago, if you asked me if I could dance, I would have said, yeah, when I'm drunk. That was the only time I felt even a little comfortable in my body. And even then, barely. Like, I would just twerk or attempt at twerking because I don't think I was actually so good at that either. But I was so disconnected, and a big part of that came from my past. I was sexually abused when I was younger, so I really learned how to leave my body. So years later, when I started this healing journey, I realized that I didn't actually know how to be in my body. And that's where dance came in. I remember showing up to my first dance class here in Bali and feeling so awkward, like just completely uncomfortable, awkward. Like, where do I even start with this thing? This thing being my body. I was so stiff, overthinking everything, comparing myself, and really just wanting to hide. Like, I started classes. I would always go to the back of the class the first few weeks. Like, I always came in, went to the back of the class, just so if I made a mistake, nobody saw me. And yeah, it was just an incredibly funny experience now that I look back. But I kept showing up. And one of the things, okay, first of all, two things. The first thing is, this is why I love Bali, because I really feel like it's one of those places in the world where you can like try. You know what I mean? Like, you can really explore yourself because there's so many other people here who are also kind of in that stage of exploring themselves, trying new things, creating new things. Like, it's such a place where it kind of, I feel, attracts people who are really just trying to grow and change. So that's number one. And then the second thing is, one of the things that kept me going was the fact that it was here in Bali, I think. And then the other thing was my love for a good party. Like, I was a good party and good music. I was still very much this girl from Miami that loved partying. And so I decided to challenge my relationship to partying. I think sometimes we have this idea that healing is serious and we can lock ourselves up and get very dull about it. I've been actually doing that more recently. We think that healing and spirituality aren't any fun, or we can go the complete opposite and make it all about having fun and chasing experiences, but that's a bit different. Well, for me, I always have to remind myself that healing can happen through living. And the more we open the body, the heart, and the mind, life actually gets more juicy and interesting because we aren't as tight about everything. So being embodied has been a very big obstacle for me. And like I said, I would numb myself and disconnect for so long. And I'm still practicing being embodied. And actually, it has started to be an even deeper experience because I can be in my body without shutting down. I can be in my body without alcohol or substances. I can be in my body and explore movement in many ways. I can dance in a room full of strangers. I can dance alone. I can try new movements with my body, even if it looks and feels super silly and awkward. And even if I embarrass myself, I have learned to be okay with exploring myself. And it's still not that easy because sometimes you're just like, I think I'm going to sit this one out because I don't have it all figured out and I don't have it all together. Dance class really helped me so much in healing. Eventually, I went to Rishikesh, India to study yoga and Ayurveda. And when I first started yoga, it was very much about, as much as I understood, was really about the body. So I really wanted to go deeper, and showing up to dance class really inspired that, me wanting to go deeper. I remember my first day there in Rishikesh, I was so ready to do all the advanced poses, the headstand, scorpions. And my teacher looked at me and said, separate your toes. And I was just like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we actually doing here? But I could not do it. I couldn't separate my toes. And so he left me there for the whole session just trying to figure out how to separate my toes. And that's when it really clicked for me that the body and the mind are not separate. the more disconnected I was from my body, the harder it was to be with anything deeper, like my thoughts, emotions, and the heart. And that's why body literacy matters so much, because when the body starts to open, when it becomes less rigid, less tense, more familiar, when we become more comfortable in our body, then everything else becomes so much more accessible.
Yes, yes, yes. Move the chair toward the ceiling. Yes, 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 yes. Very close. You're very close. Yes. And perfect. The same way, can you come back? Lift one arm up. Any one arm up.
Okay. Oh, no, I can't.
Okay, just relax.